There are actually two more things that I wanted to talk about. So Elon Musk, I've seen some videos today that were just talking about how he seems to be doing so much, and I don't know. There was these videos that were just kind of bigging him up in a massive way, and yeah, I don't know what the future holds or what's going to happen, but if there is going to be some male leader, he does seem like a good candidate to pose in as some sort of temporary. I don't think he's bought Google, but yeah, according to this video, he did, and yeah, it kind of gave me an idea that maybe there should be some couple of months where it looks like he's bought Google and owns the world, and then is given power. But yeah, it doesn't have to be real or anything. It's just it's just a facade. I don't know. Sometimes having a person at the top of a brand helps. I know Mark Zuckerberg owns Facebook and Instagram and stuff, but you never really see him do anything. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm not following his feeds or anything. From what I've seen, I don't think he even I don't know if if he's done anything, or I don't know because I never see it or hear about him. But at the same time, he might be just trying to just I don't know, whatever. But yeah, Elon does seem to be taking over Twitter. I mean, I don't know if it's just posts that are coming through because I haven't really got any specific other than Big Brother. I don't really look at anything else on Twitter on the X channel. But yeah, it's what he's done with Twitter is kind of what I would love to do with the with the churches. Just take them, basically destroy them, and turn them into something completely different, new look, new everything. But yeah, technically there are a lot of good things with Twitter because there is a lot of people who use it and it's a good marketing thing. And I've noticed that there's a lot more pictures and videos. But yeah, Twitter was good before because I did because it was always just like comments. I didn't think it took up much memory. So if you're on a train and you're not getting much data, sometimes I would find it would be easier to get something to show up on that than Instagram, because with Instagram you've got all these videos and they don't always play when you haven't got a good signal. But yeah, Twitter seems to be very, very different now, but it's still just it's more interesting, definitely. But yeah, some of the basicness of Twitter is seems to have gone, which is probably a good thing because it wasn't really that. I don't know, but I don't believe that it was worth 44 billion. And so because they're saying that it was, it feels like there's just things that are going on that aren't true. I think there's lots of lies about it. But yeah, if you are promoting it as being worth 44 billion, it might actually encourage people to use it more because they think it's more valuable than it actually is. So there would be reasons to make out that Elon bought it for 44 billion when really he might have just got it for free. I heard about Grimes having a kid with a strange name, a name that wasn't really a name. But at that time, I had no clue who the father was. And yeah, then when he bought Twitter, I learned a little bit more about him. And then I was like, oh, he was the one who had a kid with Grimes. Like for me, Grimes was more famous than he was, which seems strange now because all the videos that I'm seeing now seem to completely like he seems to basically Elon's for me seems like he's come out of nowhere, and there's a lot of people building him up on YouTube, and I don't believe that it's all just him doing it. I feel like there's I don't know, maybe people are setting him up, spiritually setting him up because they want some sort of world leader, and I don't think Martin actually wants to do that because I've not seen him anywhere. But yes, on the other front, there is something else that I want to talk about, which is communism, because I haven't really talked about China and stuff, and I've heard that there's some camps going on where they force people to fall into line with the government's ideology of how the world should be. And I don't believe in communism. That's just how it is. I can explain to you why I don't believe in communism, and I think it's be best to do it now so that you know that I'm not being influenced by any world leaders. This is just my personal opinion. If you have 10 kids and they're all sitting around a dining room table and you give all of them, sorry, my nose is itchy, and you give all of them an equal plate, an equal share, it's not actually going to be right, because you might find out of your 10 children, one of them's 4 and one of them's 18. So would it make sense to give the 4-year-old the same plate and the same food as the 18-year-old? Surely you would want to give the 18-year-old more. Or one of the kids might have a big athletic tournament, hence might actually want more food because they need more energy and they've been practicing and doing a lot more exercise. Some of your kids might not like mushrooms, some of them might prefer greens, and therefore, you can't give. I don't really know much about communism, but from what I understand it, it's about having the ruling elite and then giving everyone else an equal share, and that is as ridiculous as having 10 kids sitting around a table and you give everyone an equal share, even if one of them's 4 and one of them's 18. If one of them doesn't like mushrooms, and one of them only wants certain things, or some might need more than others. And the idea about capitalism is that the harder you work, the more you get, and the more you get, the more you're rewarded for what you get. If a doctor is being paid the same amount as a cleaner, then why be a doctor? You're going to be taking loads of risks, you're going to have to work very hard to get your skills and education. Why do all that if you're going to end up with the same pay and the same lifestyle as a cleaner? Like, I don't know how bad the communism is in China, because I've never really been there, and I don't know. I mean, I love the idea of equality and treating everyone the same, but part of treating everyone the same is also accepting that they're not the same, and that there are going to be smarter people and lazier people. You have to treat people the same, as in give them what they can manage. If someone can only manage instructions, give them a cleaner, or maybe make them, see if they want to, if they can get education and become, computing or something. These are all skill sets that involve commandments and stuff, but interests as well. People have different interests and passions, and you sometimes things are harder, but my data picture, working harder and getting a better income from that is part of this. And so I will never be a communist, because it's not possible. Reincarnation is true, is the truth. And if someone has had 10 lives, you would expect them to be at a higher position than someone that's had one life. If you treat the person that has had one life in the same respect and way that you treat someone that has 10 lives, well, then you'll get people showing up in my house pretending to be social workers and then saying that you're absolutely useless at being a kid, when really probably they just don't. I mean, maybe this is all just a setup and I don't know, but people are smarter than others, and if you treat them the same, then you're not going to know what's smart and what's not, because you're going to be like, well, everyone has an equal right to an opinion. Okay, yes, everyone has an equal right to opinion, but not everyone has an equal ability to know the difference between truth and lies. And therefore, communism will never work for me, because I don't, you can't treat everyone the same when everyone is not the same. Everyone is individual. Everyone is, I hate idea of groups. One group of people saying, I am from this bloodline, hence I have to wear this, and I am from this heritage, so I need to, I don't like groups of denominations. Most business people wear suits and stuff, but that's a commonly accepted thing, that if you're going into the workplace, you have to wear a suit because you look the same as all the other people around the world who wear suits. So even though it's a specific thing, it's not about, oh, I'm in a certain bloodline, so I'm going to wear a suit. No, it's, I want to look respectable, so I wear a suit. And if you're going into a plumbing job, you would probably wear dirty clothes because you're going to get dirty, or a paint job, you would wear paint clothes. These are not done by, these are done by skills, and yeah, communism just doesn't work for me, because it would be building up people who probably aren't that smart and making them seem the same as people who are smart. And if you have that kind of world, you're never going to know who is smart and who is dumb. If you see everyone as being equally the same, someone could say it's ridiculous, the idea of Jesus coming down and marrying lots of people. And, someone could say that that's ridiculous. And another person could say, no, well, that's just the truth about what's going to happen. If you treated these people as the same, then you're not going to know what to believe, because you're going to start thinking, well, they could equally be right. And it's like, well, okay, maybe they are right. But at the same time, if Christ did come down and marry the whole world, Christ is weird. No one wants to marry the whole world, because you can't have a proper relation. There's this, some people just say stupid things and have stupid ideologies and crazy ideas. And if you treat them as the same as people who can acknowledge stuff. You could say capitalism and communism. If you treat everyone around the world the same, then both capitalism and communism become equally as respected. But at the end of the day, reincarnation is true. Some people have had 10 lives and some people have one life. So why would you treat them exactly the same when technically you should actually be giving more respect to the people that have had 10 lives, because these are your ancestors. These are the people who have learned and have developed and changed, and you need to acknowledge that they are smarter, not better, but smarter and better in a way because they have had more experience. You would respect your elders just like you should respect the people that have had more lives. And okay, you're never going to know who's had more lives and who's not, but some people have a lot more logic and rationality with that than others. And so you can't treat everyone the same. You can only just say that I will treat you the same by listening to what you have to say and taking it in, and working out how much rationality and stuff there is to it. And yes, I think a lot of that was actually inspired by some videos that I just watched about Elon Musk. There was people that were saying these kind of similar things about him, and yeah, I don't know, but anyway, I communism is it's not like I'm going to get rid of it. If China agree to work with me, I'm definitely not going to get rid of it. But I need the Chinese government to realize that their people are not all the same. And if you try and make them all the same, all you'll be doing is dumbing down the smarter ones and building up the dumber ones, to make them sound like their opinions are equally right, when truth is that their opinions are not equally right. Some people are wrong and some people are right, and you need to give credit and rewards to those who are right, and shame those who are wrong. And that is capitalism, shaming people who are wrong, and rewarding those who are right with money. I know capitalism has its downsides, so some people can find flaws and ways of, I don't know, earning huge amounts of money and never paying any tax, and they will do it because they'll come up with a million and one excuses as to why that is, and sometimes fraud can happen. A lot more fraud can happen with capitalism. But yeah, with communism, the downsides of communism is that people who can achieve more don't, because they don't see the point.